Welcome back to On Point Solution. Today, we're delving into a topic of utmost gravity, the potential consequences of a hypothetical World War III. As we navigate through this somber exploration, it's crucial to remember that our collective efforts towards peace and diplomacy can play a pivotal role in preventing such a catastrophic event. Now, let's embark on this journey of understanding and reflection.
The Global Reset, forecasting the effects of World War III. Hey everyone! Welcome back to On Point Solution. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic, the potential consequences of World War III. Before we dive into all that, it is very important to compare World War I and World War II, unraveling the key differences. These two monumental conflicts shaped the course of history in distinct ways. Let's explore who was affected the most and why. Civilian impact. Let's talk about who was affected the most. In terms of sheer devastation and loss of life, World War II takes the lead. The deliberate targeting of civilians, combined with the Holocaust and the atomic bombings, resulted in an unprecedented level of human suffering. Causes and alliances. First, let's talk about the causes. World War I was sparked by a complex web of alliances, territorial disputes, and militarism. In contrast, World War II emerged from the aftermath of World War I, with unresolved issues, economic turmoil, and the rise of totalitarian regimes playing a significant role. Global impact. Now, let's discuss the global impact. While both wars were indeed global conflicts, World War II had a more extensive reach. It involved more countries, more theaters of war, and affected a larger percentage of the world's population. Technological advancements. One of the most striking differences lies in the technology. World War II saw a quantum leap in military technology, from tanks and aircraft to the devastating power of nuclear weapons. This drastically changed the nature of warfare. Political and geopolitical. Moving on to political and geopolitical shifts, both wars led to significant changes in the global order. However, World War II saw the emergence of two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, marking the beginning of the Cold War era. Both World War I and II were pivotal moments in history, but they had distinct impacts on the world. While World War I set the stage for the conflicts that followed, it was World War II that left the deepest scars and reshaped the world as we know it today. World War III. Unraveling the potential impact and comparisons with World War I and World War II. In the realm of hypothetical scenarios, few are as sobering as the prospect of a World War III. While we fervently hope for global peace and cooperation, it is essential to understand the potential consequences of such a catastrophic event. In this video, we will delve into the grim reality of a hypothetical World War III, particularly focusing on the devastating impact of nuclear conflict. Additionally, we will explore the parallels and distinctions between this hypothetical scenario and the historic World War I and II. The nuclear impact on humanity. The detonation of a nuclear bomb is an event of incomprehensible devastation. The release of an immense amount of energy results in immediate and long-term effects on human health, the environment, and society. The consequences are categorized into immediate and long-term effects, each presenting its own set of harrowing challenges. Immediate effects. Blast wave. The initial shock wave from a nuclear explosion can cause widespread destruction, demolishing buildings, infrastructure, and causing severe injuries or fatalities to those within the blast radius. Thermal radiation. The intense heat generated by a nuclear explosion can cause severe burns, fires, and ignite flammable materials in the vicinity of the blast, leading to additional casualties and destruction. Ionizing radiation. Immediate exposure to ionizing radiation from the explosion can cause acute radiation sickness. Symptoms may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, hair loss, and, in severe cases, organ failure. Immediate fatalities can also occur depending on the level of exposure. Long-term effects. Radiation fallout. Radioactive particles from the explosion can be carried by wind and spread over large areas, contaminating soil, water, and vegetation. This can lead to long-term health risks for people exposed to contaminated areas. Cancer and genetic damage. Prolonged exposure to radioactive materials can increase the risk of cancer and genetic mutations in survivors and future generations. Environmental impact. Radioactive contamination can persist for years or even decades, affecting ecosystems and wildlife. This can disrupt food chains and have long-lasting ecological consequences. The potential impact on critical sectors. In the event of a hypothetical World War III, various critical institutions and infrastructure would likely face significant disruptions. Here's a brief overview of the potential impacts on key sectors. Banks. Economic disruption. Banks would face severe economic disruption due to the potential collapse of financial markets, currency devaluation, and the loss of assets. International trade and financial systems could be severely compromised. Cybersecurity threats. Banks would be at increased risk of cyber attacks, as hostile entities might attempt to exploit vulnerabilities in financial systems for strategic advantage. Hospitals and healthcare. Medical supplies and resources. Hospitals would likely face shortages of essential medical supplies, including medications, equipment, and protective gear for healthcare workers. This would impact the ability to provide adequate care to patients. Infrastructure damage and accessibility. Medical facilities may suffer damage from direct attacks or collateral damage, reducing their capacity to treat patients. Access to healthcare services could be severely constrained due to conflict-related disruptions. Satellites and communication systems. Disruption of communication. Satellites and communication networks could be targeted or inadvertently damaged, leading to disruptions in global communication systems. This would impact various sectors, including military, civilian, and commercial operations. Navigation and geospatial services. GPS and other geospatial services, which are vital for navigation, logistics, and many modern technologies, could experience outages or reduced accuracy. Energy infrastructure. Power grids. Energy infrastructure, including power grids, could be targeted, leading to potential blackouts or reduced capacity. This would impact not only civilian populations but also critical industries and military operations. Resource availability. The production and distribution of energy resources, such as oil and gas, could be disrupted, affecting industries, transportation, and essential services. Transportation systems. Logistical challenges. Transport networks, including roads, railways, ports, and airports, could be severely impacted, hindering the movement of goods, personnel, and resources. Security measures. Increased security measures and potential restrictions on international travel could be implemented for safety and strategic reasons. Cybersecurity and information technology. Cyber attacks. There would likely be an escalation in cyber warfare, targeting critical infrastructure, government systems, and private sector entities. This could lead to widespread disruptions in digital services, financial systems, and communication networks. Water and food supply chain disruptions. Conflict-related disruptions could affect the production, distribution, and accessibility of clean water and food. This could lead to shortages, especially in densely populated areas. Government and public services. Continuity of government. Governments would face challenges in maintaining continuity of operations, ensuring the functioning of essential public services, and safeguarding the well-being of their citizens. The potential impacts of a hypothetical World War III are both profound and far-reaching. Understanding the grim reality of such a scenario underscores the imperative of international cooperation, diplomacy, and disarmament. It is our collective responsibility to strive for a world free from the unthinkable devastation that could be wrought by such a catastrophic event.
As we conclude this sobering discussion, it's imperative that we carry forward this awareness into our daily lives. Let's advocate for peace, promote international cooperation, and work towards a world free from the specter of global conflict. If this video has resonated with you, please consider sharing it to amplify this important message. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, let's continue striving for a more peaceful world.